Hey, everybody.
Hey. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here tonight. It is our Friday night, 8 o'clock meeting that we do every Friday. So I am excited to be here. I work very hard because Friday is the day that I look forward to. Other days too, but Friday is really an exciting day. So we're going to start the program tonight. I want to introduce, Sabor. We all know who he is. If you don't know him, he is the man behind the Debt Weapon Program. And we also have a special guest tonight, Mr. Tim Crane, but he'll be introduced later by Sabor. So we wanted to kind of start the meeting tonight, first off by introducing one of our new coaches, Miss Danielle Pollard. So we just want to thank her for joining the team. Right, very excited. We're very, very excited, and thank you for Danielle for joining us. I'm excited to have you. So I think I see a couple of new people on the call. So are there any new people on the call tonight? If you're new, you can mute yourself, raise your hands. We just like to acknowledge you and thank you for being on the call. Anybody? Oh, all right.
Good evening, everyone. I'm new to the call. My name is Terry Hannibal, your sister-in-law.
Okay, you had a little lag time near Terry, but we got your name, Terry Hannibal.
Yeah, I'm Danielle's sister-in-law. She invited me.
Okay, Danielle's sister-in-law. Welcome to the call.
Thank you.
We're excited to have you. Very excited to have you. Mr. Wooly Locks, would you like to say hello or just you want to raise your hand?
Hey, it's Lachelle and Glenn Pulliam. We're the owners of Woolly Locks LLC. We were invited by Danielle.
Oh, awesome. Thank you for being here tonight. Welcome to the call.
Thank you.
May I ask what your LLC, what do y'all do with your LLC?
Yes, we have a company called Woolly Locks. You can check out our website at woollylocks.me, but we have a product line including head coverings, swim caps, headbands, body sleeves, a few other things.
Okay, now for your business that you're funding, are you using personal or business credit?
We don't have actually any credit right now. We're self-funded. We've been in business for 10 years, so we're actually operating without credit.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, welcome to this call tonight.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's not common, I guess.
Yeah, that's not common.
No.
Out of pocket, like, I don't understand. They never give me opportunity to get any credit. I just always been like, reinvest, the money that you make basically in business.
Okay, well, you'll learn something on this call, and every Friday we have calls. So please join us because you'll get wonderful nuggets and good information on how you can achieve that by using good to increase your credit line. And that's what we teach through our program. We call the Debt Weapon Program, and that's one of the bases and the foundation of our program to teach you how to do that, as well as to strategize and leverage your credit to help build your business. So thank
Armando,
you.
I see you with that slick back today, Armando. I see you down there.
And Mr. Is that Chavez? Your hand is up. Would you like to say hello tonight?
Yes. Hello, everyone. I was introduced to the Zoom by way of Taylor Shank. She's one of my good friends and my wife's best friend. Currently, I'm just a budding real estate investor. I decided to get licensed last year, finally passed the test this year. And so I'm just soaking up as much game as possible. And Taylor, she's really invested in her knowledge about note investing that I said I was interested in. And so she said, you might want to hop on this call. It's some good information. So here I am.
Wonderful, wonderful. And thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us tonight. I see a couple of iPhones. I'm not sure who they are, but we thank every new person for being on this call tonight. And we thank each individual who invited that person, because that means that you believe in the program, and that means a lot to us that you're able to put this information out and you're sharing it with other people so that they can actually learn and benefit from what we're being taught through the Debt Weapon program. Is there anybody else that's new on the call tonight that would like to say hello, that we can acknowledge you? I don't know. Is that Mojo? Are you talking? Because if you're talking, we can't hear you. We just see you moving.
Hey, Terrence, it's Armando Rochelle. We can't hear you guys. Maybe it's muted.
Yeah, we can't hear you. Oh, no, you're muted again. Now say something now.
How you read now?
Yes, now we can hear you loud and clear.
Come on now, we ain't gonna let this technology win, right?
That's right. That's right.
So this is Terrence Edwards, and my beautiful wife accompanied me, Dwindlin Edwards. We were invited by Armando and Rochelle.
Awesome.
We just recently moved to Palmdale, California. I'm recently retired from the Air Force for 30 years.
Oh, wow.
Still in the Air Force, and we're looking to start other ventures as we get later in this military life and start to create some wealth for ourselves in other areas. So we just want to say thank you for welcoming us to the Zoom tonight. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for joining us. We don't take anybody's time lightly. We know that time, once it's spent, we can't get it back. So we try to make sure that it's valuable information and good content that we do give out. So we try to make sure that it's worth your while. So I am going to turn this call over. We're not doing, we normally do a little presentation, but we're not going to do that tonight because we want to make sure we give our guest speak.
I do need my declaration, please, though.
Oh, I don't even have it up, Sabor. Do you have it up?
No, ma'am, I don't. Rosie, you have the declaration up?
Do you have it up, Rosie?
I don't have it up, but I can grab it real quick.
Oh yeah, because it would take me too long to find it.
What?
I know, don't punish me, Rosie. I'm gonna make you I'm trying to make you a host.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, there you go.
I got it here. You got it, Sabor, I got it too.
No, I was telling you I got you as the you can pull it up.
You can share the screen. So every Friday, we do this declaration, and it's part of our program because it's a declaration to help us work on and change our mindset. So our coach Rosie, say hi, Rosie. She's gonna pull
Hello,
it up.
everyone.
And we just ask that you participate by just repeating it with us or with her after her. So Rosie, I'm gonna turn it over to you since you have it. If you can post it up, and then we'll go from there.
All right, can you guys see that one or no?
No, don't see your screen.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's not it, but hold on one second. No. I don't know what's going on, but hold on. Let me stop for a second and try it again. Sorry about that. Okay. Get out of here, guys. You guys are going to have to repeat after me as I say it because for some reason it's not allowing me to pull it up here.
Yes, ma'am.
That's fine.
Is that all right?
Yes, perfect.
Okay. This is my life. Well, first unmute yourselves. Are we ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
This is my life.
This
is my life.
I declare today my mindset has changed.
I declare today my
mindset has changed.
I am clear about my path.
I am
clear about my path.
I am debt free.
I am debt
Debt free.
I walk in the understanding of my finances.
I
walk
in
in the understanding of my finances.
I control my spending habits.
I
control
control my spending habits.
I am not a consumer.
I am not a
Consumer.
I am an investor.
I
I
am an investor.
Investor.
My money works for me.
My money works for
for
me.
me.
All things are possible to me because I believe.
all things
things are
possible to me because I believe.
I am financially sexy.
I am
I am
Financially
Financially
sexy. Thank you
I
all.
won't give up.
and I won't.
Yeah,
I
thank
won't
you.
give up.
Won't give up.
All right. Come on, give
jumped ahead
yourselves
of you a
a
little bit,
hand
but
clap.
Yes, yes.
Thank you all for participating with that. That means a lot to us. So we put a lot of thought and effort into that, and it really means something for us. So that's why we share it with you, because we want it to mean something for you as well. Before I even turn this over to support, I also have to acknowledge the woman behind the man, or the man behind the woman, the team, the support. Miss Joy Demary, she's joining us tonight. Thank you, Joy, his beautiful wife. Miss
Thank
Joy,
you. Thank you.
we always want to acknowledge her because you know, she's a great support for the program and for him, and of course because he's a support for us, so we just want to make sure we acknowledge that. But I just want to introduce to some, present to others, and everybody else who don't know will know, Mr. Sabor Demiri. He has a list of credentials. I don't have it listed, but he is a outstanding gentleman. He has 3 LLCs. He has 29 properties. He's an investor. He's known as the note broker. He does a lot, and he has a heart for people, and he wants other people to be able to win in life. So he teaches us these strategies so that we can do that. So without further ado, Mr. Sabor Demiri, I am going to turn this over to you to give you a round of applause. And now this is in your hands.
All right, I thank you all for coming in and entertaining us tonight. Before we get started, you know I got to go around table and find out who has some good news for me this week. I please share before we get started. I see you smiling, Michelle. Go ahead. You had me in tears last week, so go ahead and share your story.
Hello, everyone. With the wonderful help of Sabor, I was able to increase some of my credit line over 25,000 over the weekend. So I'm so excited about that.
Wait. Hey, let's just go.
If you're not speaking, can you mute yourself, please? Sorry, I got it. Yeah. So
Congratulations, Michelle. That's awesome.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Thank you.
how much was it altogether? 40?
Over 20. I don't remember.
I think like 45.
50.
I thought it was like 45K altogether. How much was it altogether?
The increase?
No, the available.
Altogether it was almost 50.
50, almost 50. I got you. Almost 50K. Congratulations.
All right, Sabor, just so we understand and we can emphasize that Michelle's only been doing this program for 3-4 months
Since August, July, one of them, the ending of July, August.
End of July, towards the end of July.
August. So, and Michelle, I don't really just want to put you on the spot, but when you started this program, your credit was nowhere near where it is now, correct?
No, I'm over the 700 limit.
Okay.
And the beautiful thing with Michelle is that when she started our program, she only had a $500 secured credit card. Now she has almost over $50,000 of unsecured credit that she can leverage to purchase. Not only that, Michelle came in, guns blazing. She came in, she started a Toro business. She got her cars on Toro. She's making passive income, but roughly about almost $2,000 extra a month into her household on her cars. So, I'm proud of her. She came in the program guns blazing. Again, this program is not about just helping you get financially sexy, but helping you pull the trigger to make the next steps in life. So congratulations, hats off to you, kudos.
Yeah,
Hey,
Michelle might have to be our
Thank you.
poster
Couldn't
girl.
do it without you.
Yeah. All right, anybody else want to share this week?
I got good news.
Yes, what up, man?
Just got my hands on a $10,000 debt weapon this week. I've been waiting on
Nice.
for a few months.
That's what I'm talking about.
woo-hoo, go Raheem.
Somebody else came in we have a private Facebook group. I forgot who it was. And they had some good news. The credit score increased and they also got some debt weapons too this week. So it's one of your clients, Rosie.
I don't think she's on tonight.
Okay.
No.
But anybody else got any good news for us this week before we get started?
I have a little good news.
Hey,
So,
Rosie.
hey, you guys. So we're working hard to take off some inquiries for Armando on Experian. So it's really exciting. I think I posted in the Facebook that I had made a call and they were going to remove 3 inquiries on his credit. So they actually did. I verified yesterday. It was removed and it went up 17 points.
Up 17.
So I'm really proud and excited for him. I didn't post it. I forgot to do that. I know we were kind of running around.
That's all right. So
That's
anybody's first time on the call, we teach a strategy is basically how to remove inquiries on here. So some free tips if you want to write this down, since we're giving jewels away tonight. You would have to call the credit bureaus. You tell them that you want to put it in a claim for any inquiries, meaning people that pull your credit, even if you did it or did not, you just didn't get awarded. You cannot ask for them to remove if you have an open line of credit, if you have an open account with them, okay? So you just tell them you want to remove those inquiries, and they're going to ask you, well, you have to call, make a police report. Just tell them you already have a police report for it. They don't ask for a police report number or anything like that. And you'll get those extra inquiries that you're not using or don't have a line attached to it removed, which she's talking about she did this week. So just a little tidbit and tools for anybody that's listening. Anybody else got anything to share? All right. Uh-oh. So you cannot minimize this. Oh. What? All right. So anybody's first time on the call, let me introduce myself. Again, Renee already did it. My name is Sabor. I started this because I was doing seller financing. I'm also a credit investor, and I work as an acquisition manager. We buy and sell mortgage notes for different investors. Tim Crane is on the call tonight. Me and Tim started working together years ago. When I met Tim, he had over like 60 seller finance properties, and he wanted to liquidate the houses and keep just the land contracts that he had. So I helped him get rid of all those. And since then, that's been one of my good friends. He's also, I call him a mentor because he helped me when I get down and, on my own deals and stuff like that. Me and the wife was up to 29 with some of my partners, Renee and Rosie. They are partners. They actually sold a property today. They helped a young lady that has 2 kids that was having a hard time finding financing. So we actually closed on that deal today and got them into a place. So congratulations to y'all on that one. I just work hard like anybody else. I was struggling, living paycheck to paycheck, trying to figure out my own way in life. And I just happened to I was doing private security at the time. And, I'm watching these young kids walking around with Aston Martins and millionaire apartments. And I just asked this one guy, he's like, I'm like, man, what are y'all doing, man? Like, what am I doing wrong with my life? I'm watching kids younger than me, and doing security over these kids, as it was just crazy. He just said, bring me your bills, and told me I was banking wrong. Before it had a name, it's called Velocity Banking now, but before it had a name, he taught me the steps. And believe it or not, we basically had like 4,000 going in, 4,000 going out of our household because I didn't know my numbers. A lot of us that don't know this program yet, you probably going through the same situation, living paycheck to paycheck and don't know your numbers. So long story short, he taught me the strategies. I employed it. A year later, I was debt free. Next thing you know, I'm still working as an acquisition manager. I'm, buying loans from bank, because we buy mortgage loans and we sell them to different investors. If you ever own a home and you got a letter in the mail say, hey, your new mortgage company is such and such, that would probably be me behind that deal. So that's what we do. We buy loans from banks, mortgage loans, and sell them to other investors. even retail investors. So, now I'm stuck and I'm like, okay, what do I do with this tool that I have? And I'm free. And I end up learning about seller financing. So from seller financing in my background in buying mortgage loans from the bank, I was able to start my own business. But then as I'm starting my business and growing, me and my wife own personal portfolio, I realized most of the people that we had in our homes were financially illiterate. They didn't know anything about credit. They didn't know anything about money. So, I went out and started trying to teach people. And again, I started with the velocity banking and then to get them into real estate investing themselves. And from there, I was able to grow this network and this niche to start teaching people this game so they can actually start creating passive income and leave generational wealth for their family. Me and my wife now, we split our properties up. One for me, one for you, one for me, one for you. Something happens, we're always secure. So I just want you to start thinking like that, create a passive income, create something for you and your family, and leave a legacy for your wife and kids, or your family, I should say. Just leave something. But anyways, I want to explain what our program is, which is called the Debt Weapon Program. In this program, we try to empower each other as a community. We do this by teaching the correlation of proper banking, credit, and investing. This is something that we coined as looking financially sexy. In the strategy, what we try to tell you is that there is no wrong way to creating passive income, but there is a wrong way of how we were taught how to bank. Okay, again, there's no wrong way to create a passive income. Any way that you can think of create passive income for you and your family. I heard somebody say they make head wraps and scarves. We have people that do Toro. There's no wrong way to create a business or passive income, but we have to get rid of the old mindset that credit was bad. We all heard, don't ask me for nothing, money don't grow on trees. So we got this negative association with money and having money. So we try to break down those in this group to teach you the proper ways to actually build your credit, leverage that credit to create passive income so that you and your family can have. Make sense? With this group, I'm very proud. 99% of our members in this group have over a 700 credit score. Collectively as a group, we have over 2.1 million of available credit that we have taught and obtained from our groups. So we can actually use that credit now and leverage that credit by using OPM to make ourselves rich. There's a such thing as I can borrow a small amount to make a big amount. So instead of being a consumer going out buying cars and stuff like that, that's not going to give you a return. We teach you actually how to buy an asset, maybe a rental, maybe, people that's doing Toro, whatever, help you buy an asset that help you, buy toys that help you buy toys. My wife, I always tell people all the time, my favorite story, my wife was like, well, I want another Benz. I'm like, well, let's buy another property first and let that property pay for your Benz and some more, so that's basically where all this came about. And I just want to let you all know that we do have a passion for seeing our people grow and things like that, okay? I'm going to do a quick case study if y'all all entertain me for a second here. Let me pull up my screen. Anybody got any questions about what I said before I get started? All right. Thank y'all for entertaining me. So in this one, I'll just call this week. I always name each week a different topic for anybody that's first time on the call, just so we can get back into it. I'm just going to go over a quick case study. I'm not going to go, that's just for the people that's new. I just don't want to hold up too much time here tonight. Resume slideshow. All right, so in this case study, we have an income of $4,000. We have a mortgage of $1,400. We have utilities of $420, a car payment of $350, and then of course they have some utilization on the credit cards that they have. So their monthly payment is $25. They have a remaining balance of $1,700, and their limit is $4,500. They also have a Discover card, $25 payment, $300 limit, and $650. Okay. They also have a savings that they're saving $150 a month. So, and they have $2,000 saved, and other monthly expenses like insurance, going out to eat, etc. They end up spending about $1,630 after all their bills. So that means they have 4,000 going in and 4,000 going out, living paycheck to paycheck, correct? So first thing that we try to teach them in this program is how to increase their monthly cash flow. So the main thing that you need in our group is to know three things. The first three things you need to know is your income, your expenses, minus those two is what you get is called your cash flow. Your net cash flow is how much money you have left over every month, right? This is how you change your life right here. Those three things, listen to me, is how you change your life, okay? So we take the same case study that I put it back up here so you can follow along with me. I'm gonna show you how we can eliminate that debt for you and actually help you create passive income. And at the same time, by doing this, paying these things down, you boost your credit score up, right? And now you have your credit score up and you eliminated your debt. You look financially sexy to the bank because you know how to utilize your credit wisely. Okay, so in this situation, the first thing that we're gonna do is increase the monthly cash flow by getting rid of the savings. We teach no savings, okay? Why have a savings account when you have outstanding debt? It makes no sense, okay? Not only that, we're going to teach you other programs and steps in here, but so you get rid of your savings, you take that savings that you have of $2,000 and you pay off the balance of those two cards. That increases your available credit. We are taught that cash is king. And me and Tim World and other business owners on here, we know that credit is king. Cash is only going to get you so far. Once I use it, I can't get it back. But credit, once I use it, I pay it down, I can use it again. It's revolving, okay? So then we go to those credit card companies and ask for a credit line increase. So we'll get more likely off those two cards. They probably boost up to 12,000 now and then 1,000 on the other one, okay? Next thing we want to do in your household is move all your expenses over to that line of credit. In this situation, we have the card of 12,000. We're going to move all those expenses over to that line of credit. Okay, this is what we call velocity. We're no longer making payments. Okay, $25 here, $350 here. You know, a little BS there. No, we're going to velocity meaning using the acceleration of time and money. Okay, by using the acceleration of time and money, we'll help you pay off all those debts in a matter of months. Okay, we've had people in this program that tell you they paid off cars in 2 months, student loans in 4 or 5 months, mortgages in 7 years or less. So we're working hard here to help people get out of debt. Okay. So now that we increased the lines of credit, we moved all the debt over to that new line of credit. That 12,000, that 12,000 becomes your new checking account. You do nothing in your life without that. You get rid of the debit card, you keep no cash on hand. When you get paid, your income needs to go right back to that line of credit. Now, remember, we're increasing your monthly cash flow. So you're paying that debt back down by that cash flow. So in this situation, just say I had $2,000, right? And I put all my monthly expenses on there. And my monthly expenses, just for example, was $6,000. That means I would have that card paid back off in 3 months and I have $12,000 available again. In our program, most people have a minimum and require a minimum of 120,000 available credit because that gives you $36,000 just to start leveraging. You can use that to buy a property, fix a rehab, you fund your business, whatever, so we try to teach people on the personal side, you have a minimum of 120. On the business side, you have to have a minimum of 500K. That way, you always look financially sexy. You're always building yourself in your income, in your family's generational wealth. But anyways, so now that we did all that, we're using the velocity and we're paycheck parking, that we call it, taking our income, dropping it back to that line of credit, killing all our debt off. We use 30% of that line of credit. The only why we say 30%, because you cannot, if you go over 30% of your line of credit, you actually kill your actual credit score. Stay under 30% of your available credit. All of your credit cards, all of your credit that you have, you want to stay under 30%. Add it up, see how much it is, divided by 30% or 0.30, and get your percentage. That'll tell you how much money you're allowed to spend. Okay, so we take a certain amount of money, say in this situation, 30%, we'll take $3,000. off of that card and drop it onto principal only on that car loan. He has a car loan on here that was remaining 95. So again, we're using our cash flow, our money left over in our household to attack back that 30% we borrowed. In this situation, again, we'll take a month and a half, do it again, take another 3,000 after the month and a half, or just to round it off 2 months. Take another 3,000, drop it down. That car that has a balance of 9,500 that he was making for 350 is now paid off in 3 months, you know, or less. So you just continuously try to knock out all those debts that you currently have in order for us to increase that. I don't know what I just hit, but it put something on the board. I apologize. I started writing something as I was talking. I apologize there. Does that make sense to anybody? Because I'm trying to get over to so we can have Tim Crane speak. Is that making sense to everybody that I'm talking to tonight?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right. So basically, this is the, you know, I just try to make my PowerPoints as easy as possible so people can understand. You know, to here is what your next steps is. Again, you want to move all we call your lines of credit. There's 5 different lines of credit that you can utilize in this strategy, but you'll move all your debt over to your debt weapon. Your debt weapon is your line of credit. So you're basically literally using debt to pay off debt. You know, somebody may say, well, Sabor, that makes no sense to me at all. If I have an interest rate of 3% on my car loan, why would I use a credit to take money off a credit card when it's, you know, it's 20%? There's 2 different things going on here. You have hot and cold. You have an amortized schedule, meaning I have a pay period, when I also have a simple interest on the other side. Meaning if I come to you and borrow $100, you say, Sabor, you take $100 for me, you owe me 15 back. That's simple interest. It's not amortized, you know? So there's a big difference that's going on here. That's why our people mostly are continuously stay culturally or financially behind because they don't understand financial literacy, you know? But again, anyways, your first step is to move all your debt over to your debt weapon. Your line of credit becomes your new checking account, and you paycheck park your money back to that line of credit. Your checking account does nothing for you, literally. Now, one thing that a lot of people in our group can tell you and contest to is that if you have a cash back rewards card and you move all of your debts over to that cash back rewards card, you're now getting money back. Most of our people, they'll get anywhere between $100 to $400 a month, depending on their expenses on that card from cash back rewards. Most people don't even make that much in having $10,000 in a savings account for a whole year. You may get $100 at the end of the year. So by moving that debt over to a cash back rewards or a points card, now you're actually utilizing those cards to actually make you money. So that's another strategy that you can do. But again, you want to paycheck your part money back to those lines of credit in order for you to build those credits, okay? And then, of course, I put in here follow up with your coaches to make sure the tools are working right for you and we're not steering you in the wrong direction. I promise you, we won't let nobody on this call fail. That's not what our aim is or anything like that. We have a lot of success stories. I'm very proud of this program. I'm very proud of the people in this program. So if it's your first time on this call, sorry I was long-winded. I just wanted to make sure that you all are understanding where we're going with this program and how we can change lives and change your life, okay? So I don't know what this thing is in the middle of my screen. I don't know how to remove it. Can y'all see that little thing?
Yeah, we can. It's just a little blue line.
All right. So anyways, so everybody on the call tonight, let's see here. Let me get back over here real fast. How many people we got on the call tonight here?
We have 23 people tonight.
23 people, all right. Sheesh. All right, I want to do, Joy don't get a number. Rosie does not get a number. Renee doesn't get a number. Tim doesn't get a number. Danielle doesn't get a number. And my wife does not get a number. Everybody else gets a number. Pick a number. Everybody else pick a number and put your number in the chat real fast. Well, if the same number as somebody else, you need to change it.
So you can pick a number from 1 to 20, 1 to 20?
Yeah.
Okay, so hold on. I gotta see, because they're moving so fast, my gosh.
No multiple numbers now. Make sure we ain't got no multiple same numbers.
All right, hold on, I gotta write it down. So Chavez, he's number 8. Michelle is 18. Suda is 3. HL. Hey HL, she's
You know,
4.
quiet tonight on us. Hey, HL, I see you quiet
Hey,
tonight.
y'all. How y'all doing?
Okay, Taylor is 16. Brian is 10. Mojo is 17. And George. So George, you got to pick another number. Not 7 is taken. Pick another one. So Wooly is 1. Asha is 5. Oh, we got a couple of iPhones. So we got an iPhone that's 10. Terry is 13. And you have Alicia, which is 2.
Okay.
And wait a minute. Linda is 9. We have another iPhone, which is 15. And George is going to be 11.
Okay. So what we're
So I
going to do.
think you have number 10 twice because I put 10 and then I saw someone picked it
Oh, yeah.
already.
We have an iPhone, but yeah.
So, yeah,
Thank
so that
you.
was me. So that I wrote 15 at the bottom again.
Who is that? Who is
Okay.
that? Who is that speaking?
Raphael.
Hey, Raphael, how are you?
Okay, Raphael. So, all right.
Good,
So
good.
the iPhone is.
I see
okay,
you.
I got you, Raphael.
All right.
Thank
All
you.
right. So what I'm going to do is,
Appreciate it.
oh, sorry. So what we're going to do is we're going to play a little game. I know some of you may have most of you should have the answers. Some of the new people may not have the answers. Just do your best. When I pull up the questions, I need for you to type your number in. She has your number. Do not blurt out the answers to the questions like we normally do weekly. You have to type your number in. The first person that types their number in, okay? Y'all ready? All right. So first person is going to win $100 tonight. The second place winner will win $50. Y'all ready? Don't type it out. Type your number into the chat. Not you, Tim.
A minute. Oh shoot! So the first person was 10, Brian.
Brian.
Yep.
All right, Brian, you get to answer that.
What's your debt schedule?
Correct. Your amortization schedule is your debt schedule. So it's the table detailing your periodic payments on an amortized loan, your debt schedule. All right. Next
Wait a
person.
minute. Wait. Okay, go ahead, because now I need to go to the bottom of the list. Go ahead. Question 2.
What is simple interest? Tim, you ready, Tim?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Nobody put an answer in for that one. Oh, we got 7, Rochelle.
Let's go, Rochelle.
So, simple interest is the calculation of your interest on a daily rate versus a 30-year rate, so it's calculated on a daily average. So you only charge for whatever you owe at that time, not spread out over 30 years.
Gotcha. All right, appreciate you. All right, next question. So it's easy method calculation, the interest on a loan period. Thank you. All right, next question. Income minus expenses equals
13, Terry. Hannibal.
Cash flow.
There you go. All right, we got 3 ties here. So, all right, well, let's break this down. I'm gonna give 2 more questions. So equals cash flow. Thank you, Terry. What business credit scoring monitoring service do we recommend for business owners? Business monitoring credit service. What website do we ask that all business owners have?
Oh, Rosie can't answer.
You better not, Rosie. she over there itching. She got her hair.
So, Asha was number 5. She was first.
All right, Asha.
I was actually helping mom.
Nav.com. Appreciate you. All right. What secondary credit bureau collects banking information like bad checks, NSF, meaning non-sufficient funds in your bank account? What secondary credit bureau collects this information about you?
Okay, hold on.
For those that don't know, there are secondary credit bureaus. Most people know TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, but there are actually secondary credit bureaus that collect way more information.
Michelle put 18.
All right, let's go.
I can say anyone? Lexus.
No, not LexisNexis.
No? Okay.
Go back in the pot. Anybody else?
10. Brian was 10 after Michelle.
You want the same person who already won to try it or somebody else?
No, he can get to try it. Whoever
All right.
put after her. Go ahead, Brian.
Core Logic. No.
Core Logic collects, I can't tell you that because that might be a question. All right.
So is that not the answer? So Michelle is back up. She put 18 again.
No, she can't go back up. The question goes back in the pot. Nobody got that one.
All right.
All right. Check systems. All right. My 18-year-old son has no credit. What is the fastest way for me to build his credit?
16. Taylor Shark, 16.
Yes, add them as an authorized user on your line of credit.
There you go. Add him as an authorized user. All right, we're going to stop here. Let Tim finish, and then we'll jump back into this again, okay? Go ahead, Tim. I'm sorry, because this is getting good. Yeah, I didn't know y'all was going to have that many answers.
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, my name's Tim Crane. I started the beginning. I don't really have a thing made out for you guys, but I used to work security too, Sabor. And the one thing that security guard job taught me was at nighttime when I was sitting there on the way to work, I would stop by these little real estate magazine things where I would pick up some free magazines and I would take them to work with me, and I would sit at night and look through the real estate magazines. And I used to see duplexes and triplexes and quadplexes, and they made sense to me. You know, hey, you could live in one and rent out the other ones. And so, make a long story short, and when I bought it, my mom had to sign for me, long story, but I didn't have any credit and I didn't have any money. My credit was real crappy. And so my mom signed for me, and I bought a triplex with no money down. And I lived in one of them, and my payment was $700 a month, and it brought in $900 a month. And I lived rent-free for 9 years. I bought it for $75,000. I sold it for $225,000 when I sold it, and we moved to Tennessee back in 2006. You still there? Hey, is everybody there?
Yeah, we're still here.
We're here. We're listening to you.
Loud and clear.
Yeah, we hear you loud and clear.
Okay, so when I moved to Tennessee, I still had bad credit, but I had a little bit of money now. I had about 90 grand when I moved here. And so I had a house. I started buying houses, fixing them and selling them, and then just kind of trying to do flips and things like that. And I was quickly running out of money. And I told my brother, I said, hey, let's start a company. I said, I can do these deals. And if I just didn't get the money in my pocket, like if I do a deal and I make $5 grand, I end up using the money to pay my bills and I'm back to zero again. And I did this. It was a vicious cycle over and over and over again. And I finally told my brother, I'm like, hey, man, I can find these deals all day long. If I could just somehow do the deals on the side so I didn't see the money, so that the money didn't go in my pocket. It just goes over my head, and I could let it grow, and I could let it work for me, and I could let it do it. And so my brother, we decided to start an LLC. I put in 15 grand, he put in 15 grand, and we used it as a down payment. We bought 100 acres. We chopped it up in 4 parcels. I sold them out. I took down payments. I used those down payments as a down payment. and we bought a house, and we started buying houses, little houses, 15, 20,000, which you really can't do anymore. But, 10 years ago you could. And so I was buying these little houses for 15, 20,000, and I would turn around and sell them for 45, 50,000 using owner financing. I'd take $2,000 or $3,000 down. I charge 10% interest. And when I would go to the bank and borrow the money to buy these houses, I would just set my payments up on a 5-year note. And when I would sell the house, I would sell it on a 30-year note. And their 30-year note was higher than my 5-year note. So for the first 5 years, it just kind of paid itself off. But then after 5 years, I got the property paid for, and I got 25 more years of payments coming to me. And so I did that for a few years. We accumulated quite a few houses. I think it was like 60 or 70. And then I started buying land. I started doing the same thing on a bigger scale with land. And so I could buy a $15,000, $20,000 house and sell it for $45,000. Well, in order for me to make $200,000, I had to do that 10 times. And so it was easier for me to just find a parcel of land where maybe I could buy the land for $1,000 an acre and then sell it for $2,000 an acre and then use my owner financing. And so when I first started, my method was for every dollar that I owe the bank, I have $2 owed to me. So if I bought it for 20, I had to sell it for 40. And so I started finding little cheap pieces of land here and there that the logging companies had cut all the trees off of it or whatever. And I was finding like 60, 70, 80 acre tracts that I could buy for like $40,000, $50,000. And so for a $50,000 parcel, I put 20% down, that's 10 grand. I'd finance the 40 grand. My payment be, I don't know, $700, $800 a month. And I would sell that acreage for I'd buy it for $800 an acre. I'd sell it for $2,000 an acre. And so I was doing better than 2 to 1. I was getting 2.5 times my money. And so I did that several times. Right now we have Sabor helped me liquidate some of my houses a few years back. That's how I met him. And I probably only have about 20 houses now, but we have over 1,500 acres of land. And it's all sold on owner financing. The reason why I do that is because I didn't want to rent anything. I don't like fixing things. I don't like people calling me saying, hey, the toilet's not working or whatever. I just want the money. I don't really want, the property. I just want the money. And so I've done several of these deals in the past, and I talked to the company, or I talked to this group one time before, a few months back. And Sabor told me that when I talked about it, everybody kind of liked what I said. And so I'm currently working on a deal right now. And so before the call today, I kind of sat down and I went over the whole deal and wrote it out and made a PDF form out of it. And I sent it to Sabor, and he's going to share it with everybody.
I have it up now.
Okay. And so basically, this is why I'm doing this. And so my brother, who's 7 years older than me, this past year, he decided that he doesn't want to do any more deals. He's kind of older than me, and he's like, hey, I just want to chill out. We have about $35,000 or $40,000 a month coming in every month now. And so he's like, I just want to live on our cash flow and just relax. And he goes, I'm tired of chasing people down and keeping track of everything. He goes, I'm happy with the ones we've got, but I don't want any more. And so I'm like, okay, well, he's been my business partner since 2007. I mean, almost 15 years. I do the deals and he keeps track of everything. And it's worked out great for us because he does the things that I don't really like doing. I don't like keeping track and doing those kind of things. I like finding the deals. I like making the deals happen. And that's what I'm good at. And so when we first started, I told him, I said, man, I'm excuse my language, but I'm balls to the wall. I'm ready to go. And so I'll do them. And you just keep track as I'm doing them and throwing them on the pile. You just have to keep track of them as I do them. And it's been very profitable for us. It's enabled me to keep doing what I like to do. And then he just kind of keeps track of what I do. Kind of just, says, hey, you're doing good. Just keep going. And so this deal that I'm working on now, because my brother doesn't want to buy any more properties, I don't want to stop because there's lots of properties, there's lots of money to still be made. I'm 51 years old and I'm not where I want to be yet. So my nephew, my brother's son, who is about 30 years old now, he's a financial advisor in Chicago. He's like, hey, I would like to do a deal with you. I would like to partner with you. And so I thought about it, and I'm like, he doesn't really bring anything to the table other than the fact of he's going to be keeping track of the deal, which is something I can do myself, but I prefer somebody else to do. And so I told him that here's my proposal to you. And so my proposal was that he puts up all the money. We start an LLC, and we started an LLC already. I'm half owner, he's half owner. We own it 50-50. He puts all up the initial investment, and then any positive cash flow we have goes to pay him back his initial investment. And then when he's finished paying off his initial investment, then we split everything 50-50. And so he's like, hey, that sounds pretty good. And so I found a deal, and it's up in Sugar Tree. It's in Decatur County. It's not, I live in Hardin County, and this county it touches Hardin County. So it's within, I don't know, 60 miles from where I live or so. And so it's a 360 acre tract of land, and I'm getting it for $325,000, which is about $908 an acre. And so it has a lot of road frontage, and there's electricity going down the road, and there's some creeks on the property. And so this property is $325,000. And so usually my bank, I use a bank called Wayne County Bank most of the time. And so their usual policy is 15% down. Well, I called my loan officer, and I'm like, hey, you think you can let us get away with 10% down? And they said, yes, they would agree to it. And so we're going to get it for like $32,500 down. There's going to be about $1,500 in closing costs. And the survey to chop the property up is going to be about $15,000 bucks. So altogether, he's going to be in the deal for about $49,000-$50,000. So after we pay the down payment, we're going to still owe $292,000 to the bank. Our payment on that for 10 years is $3,100 a month for 10 years. If we pay it for 5 years, the payment is $5,500 a month for 5 years. But what we usually do is we make the 10-year payment for the first year to kind of keep our expenses low so we can hurry up and sell the property. Now, the way I sell these properties, they usually don't take me very long to sell them, because what I do is most of these tracts are 10 to 30 acre tracts. Most of them are under 20 acres so that I can keep the price affordable. I'm buying it for $908 an acre, and I'm going to be selling these tracts for at least $2,500 an acre. Some of the tracts I'm going to be selling for $3,000 an acre. And so the way I sell it, so like a regular ad might read, here's 20 acres for $50,000 bucks. I charge $1,000 down, no credit checks. Your payment is $430 bucks. And so somebody who wants to buy 20 acres, if they go to the bank wants 15 or 20% down on a 50 grand, there's 10,000 bucks. With me, for $1,000 down, and I don't even do a credit check, they can buy this property. And so I use what's called a land contract to sell the property. I don't actually sign it over to them. Stays in my name until they finish paying it off, and then I sign it over to them. So if they quit paying me, I don't have to foreclose on them. I just take the property back. If they live on the property, then I have to have them evicted. But other than that, most of the time they're not living on the property. Most of the time they're buying it for hunting or in the future. But sometimes they do live on the property. Sometimes they build houses or whatever. Anyway, so it usually takes me less than a month to sell these tracts of land. I'm going to chop it up in about 23 parcels. And the last tract that I had was 189 acres. We chopped it up in 15 tracts. I sold it all in the first week. The tract before that was 380 acres. We chopped it up into 18 tracts. It took me less than 2 weeks to sell all of that. So I know these tracts, they sell, especially at this kind of price. They just fly off the mark, they fly off the shelf. So anyway, once they're all sold, 23 tracts, that's $1,000 for each tract. We'll have $23,000 back. Now, if I sell it for $2,500 an acre, it comes out to $897,000 owed to us And so about 900,000. Now the payments, the total payments we'll be collecting, theoretically, if everybody pays on time, will be $7,800. Now, for 30 years, $7,800 for 30 years. And our payment to the bank is $3,100 for 10 years. And so that's going to leave about $4,700 in positive cash flow every month. Now we already got the 23,000. So he initially had 50 grand in the deal. So that's $27,000 left over that I still owe him after the down payments. $4,700 a month. In 6 months, he'll have all of his money back. His 50 grand, his initial investment will all be paid back to him. And then he owns half the company and I own half the company. And I ended up doing this deal with no money out of my pocket. This was all somebody else's money. And I'm going to be up $450,000. Like half of that $900,000 is going to be mine. And it's all drawing 10% interest. So to me, man, when I sit back and I look at that deal and I think about it, it blows me away. I'm so excited about it because I can't believe that I can believe it, but it's just, I just remember wanting to be a real estate investor so bad. And I just didn't have good credit and I didn't have any money and I didn't know how I was going to do it. And it used to be very discouraging. And I would sit sometimes and I would just see deals go by and I couldn't do them and other people were doing them. And it almost brings a tear to my eye, man, because I really wanted it bad and I didn't know how I was going to get it. And now I'm there. And not to break my arm patting myself on the back, but I mean, I feel like I've accomplished something. And so I talk about, like, I also shared some paperwork. I also shared a list of my videos where I talk about a bunch of my deals and I made some videos. I gave it to Sabor and he's going to share it with you guys. But in one of those deals, I talk about a school building that I bought. And it was like the very first big deal I ever did. And I made 30 grand. And when I did that deal, the feeling I got from that deal was like, man, I can do anything that I put my mind to. Nobody can tell me I can't do this. I can do this. No, I don't care what any naysayer says, anybody. They don't know me. They don't know my determination. I can make this happen. And so after that, like, I got that feeling, like that literally was the best feeling in my life. Like I never felt that kind of accomplishment in my life. And so I've done other deals since then. I did a deal about 4 or 5 months ago. These people brought a house to me and they're like, hey, we want to sell the house at 75 grand. I talked them down to 60. I bought it. I put less than $600 into it and I sold it in less than a month for $129,000. I made almost 70 grand on that deal, flipped it and made 70 grand cash. And I did not get the same feeling I got when I made that 30 grand on that school building. Because to me, even though it was 70 grand and I was excited, I didn't really do anything to earn that money. I mean, somebody just came to me and said, hey, you want to buy my house? And I bought it. The school building, I found that school building on eBay. I flew to another state, West Virginia, and went and looked at that building and took a chance with my money and I made it happen. And even when other people, like my best friend who went with me, he's like, man, don't do it. He didn't want me to do it, but I just knew in my gut that I could make it happen. And so when I talk about my deals, I'm very passionate because I get excited about them. And I've done deals like this deal with my brother. Like I've done deals like this with my brother, but I've never done one with a new investor like my nephew, where I've done a deal this big and it's all no money out of my pocket. And the great part about it is my investor is going to have all his money back in the first 6 months. So we're both going to be into it for no money in 6 months. And we're going to, there's going to be $900,000 drawing 10% interest every year. And so I have 2 LLCs with my brother. I've got one for my real estate brokerage firm. I've got one with my nephew now. And I'm actually, after this deal, I've already started another one with my niece who also wants to do this, the same kind of deal as my nephew. And so I imagine that once my nephew gets his initial investment back in 6 months, he'll want me to find another property and do it again. And so it's just a cycle. As long as, and that's been one of the things that I've been good at, is finding deals. I can find deals. I see how to make them happen. I see how they work. I look at a lot of ads every day. And so I don't know, man. Anybody got any questions? They want to ask me anything?
Somebody put in the group that they wish they had an uncle
Somebody said they wish they had an uncle like
like
that.
you. But you know, I want one thing I wanted to touch on is because most people here that's entrepreneurs, you know, a lot of times, especially if you have spouses or friends and family, he touched on it. He saved himself. You know, I literally met Tim. He was a self-made millionaire, and that's why me and him click, and we had the same goals and stuff. But the thing is, nobody's going to save you. You know, you have to save yourself. You know, you can be, you know, husband and wife on the calls, and sometimes, you know, they're like, oh, I don't like that. It's kind of risky or whatever, you know. But if you have that passion and goal, you have to go for it. I know in this group, you know, we're giving you the.
We lost you, Sabor.
Sorry, I got a phone call came in, but we give you the tools and things for you to succeed, and you know, that way you can save yourself. A lot of times, I'm telling you, you gotta stick to the goals. You have to stick to your dreams. You know, I'm pretty sure Tim heard a lot of no's. You know, and you know, he said he had no money or credit at the time, so I'm pretty sure when he came to the bank, he really got a lot of no's. You know, so it's different for him now. Like, I'm pretty sure they do you like me. When you go in the bank, they don't put you in the front, stay in your line. They take you to the back of the office now. So those are the type of things and the goals and dreams that you want to get to. And again, you're going to have to save yourself. He works just as hard as I work. And anybody on here that, you know, there's a different level of entrepreneurship. There's a different level of success that you're going to get. And it comes with what is called classism. You know, that the way they treat you, the way they look at you as you succeed in life, you know. But again, you have to make sure that you are willing to have that drive and success. No matter who tells you no, keep pushing forward.
That's it. If you believe it, you can achieve it, bro. That's for sure. Because if you don't believe it, nobody's going to believe it. So anybody got any questions? Anything?
So what advice would you give, Tim, to someone who may be on this line, like myself or others, who want to start to invest maybe in land or learn how to go about doing that? What steps should they take?
Well, you could call me if you wanted to. I could talk to you one-on-one or whatever and answer any questions you have. What I would suggest was kind of like how I did. I started with smaller plots of land, okay? And so I most of the first tracts that I bought were 60, 70, 80 acres of land. I could get them for like 800 an acre, 50, 60,000, which is, it's achievable. I mean, you guys have your credit limits up to where you're like got 50 grand now. You know, if you go to the bank and you buy 50 acres or like $50,000, like say you buy 70 acres for 50,000 and you go to the bank and they're probably going to want 15 to 20% down, which is about 10,000. And so the trick, I mean, I'm sure all of you have heard like income producing assets that pay for themselves so that you're not having consumer debt like a Corvette or a bass boat. You buy an asset that produces an income. Well, this land doesn't produce an income until you sell it and make it produce an income. So the plots of land that I buy, I try to make sure that they have road frontage. They have to have enough road frontage where I can chop it up and everybody can have a piece of the road to get to their own property. I try to make sure there's electricity running down the road so everybody can get electricity to their property. It's really nice if water's running down the road. It's not necessary, but it's nice. And so when I chop it up, if I can buy land, like if you look around right now, if you just look on any of the websites for a piece of land, 50 acres, you'd be hard pressed to find a piece of land for 2,000 an acre. I mean, you're not saying you couldn't find any, but they're going to be few. Most of it's above 2,000 an acre. And so I try to find land that I get land a lot of the time from logging companies where they've already cut all the trees off the property. And so it doesn't look as appealing as a piece of property that has trees with creeks. It looks more appealing. But to somebody who wants 10 acres or 20 acres and they don't have a means of buying it, and then here you come, you don't do credit checks and you sell it with $1,000 down. Because to be honest with you, I don't, like, some people will try to sell a 20-acre tract and they'll want $10,000 down. Well, you're cutting down your buyer's market tremendously because not everybody has 10 grand down. Most people have $1,000. And so I don't really want the money up front anyway. I want the interest on the money that I'm loaning to you. So I'll take $1,000 down and you can owe me the rest at 10% interest. I don't care. That's fine with me. And so that's what I do. I just make it easy for you to do it. And when literally what I do is after I have the surveyor chop it up, I go out there to the property and I take some safety paint, and where each marker is at the road, I put a big yellow stripe on the road so you can see where the marker is. Somebody who wants to go by and look at the property can easily just drive by it, see where it's at. I put a sign on it, says this is track 1, that's track 2, that's track 3. So you can identify which track is which. So they ride by, they go, hey, I like that track, I'll take it. And so I go over there, I take pictures of each track. I take my drone out there, I fly my drone over each track, and I get a video of each track so you can see it. And I make it easy for people in another state. If they want to buy it without seeing it, they can watch the video and the pictures and they can just buy it from that, or they can come out and look at it, or whatever they want to do. And so the advice I would give somebody who wanted to start, just start small. Try it small. You can do it with a lot. You can buy a vacant city lot and then turn around and sell it. A lot of people, if they have $10,000 to invest, if you put your $10,000 in a CD or some other kind of investment instrument, a CD, you're only going to make 1% or whatever, but another investment instrument might make you 8 or 10% interest. Okay. I take that $10,000 and I leverage it. If I buy 10 acres, then I turn around and sell that 10 acres for 30,000. So I took that 10 grand, I turned it into 30,000, and now I'm drawing 10% interest on it. You see the advantage of that? I mean, that's 3 times your money. Instead of your $10,000 investment, you got a $30,000 investment bringing you 10%. I learned that strategy a long time ago. I just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again.
Hey, Tim, I want to stop you real fast because we still have some new people on the calls, right? I want to get your understanding. So you explain to them what seller financing is from your understanding. And I have some of our old deals here I'm about to pull up on the screen. But while I'm doing that, can you explain to them what seller financing is, how they can actually use seller financing to create generational wealth?
So a lot of people think owner financing. Let's say you see a house for 50 grand and you ask the owner, hey, would you finance it for me? Most of the time the owner is going to say no, because he wants his 50 grand. He don't want to play around with the financing. So that's one way you could use owner financing. To me, like I was telling you, if I was to buy a $15,000 or $20,000 house and then turn around and sell it for $45,000 with owner financing, charging $3,000 down and $450 a month at 10% interest, what that does is instead of saying, hey, I want 45 grand down, you got to go to the bank. The bank wants 20% down. They want you to do a credit check. It's going to be title search 30 days before you can close, an appraisal, inspections. I offer owner financing with 3,000 down, no credit check, sign a paper, you take possession today. I make it easy. And so there's a lot of people who want a house who are already paying $500, $600, $700, $800 a month wherever they're at. Here I'm offering them a chance to own a house for $3,000 down and $450 a month with no credit checks. And so there's a lot of people in that position who are never going to be a homeowner. They will be renters for their whole life. Their credit will never be good enough. They'll never make enough money to get out of the trap they're in, and they will be stuck being a tenant their whole life. When presented with the option some of them will take that option, even if it's not the best option. Even though you're selling that property at the top of the market, it's the opportunity to own a house and not just be a renter. And so there's a lot of people in that position. And if you make it easy for them to buy a house from you, they'll buy it. And so to me, that's what seller financing is. To me, it's just been a way to leverage my money. I can make a small investment, sell it for more, and then draw the interest on it. And so I mean, to me, that's what I do. It's just where the seller finances the property for you. The bank doesn't finance it. You do it yourself. You can finance it to you, and you can still owe money on that. Like if I buy a house for $20,000, I put $4,000 down, and the bank finances $16,000 for me. I still owe the bank some money, but I sell it with owner financing. As long as I don't sign the title over to them, I'm good. They pay it off. I pay mine off. They get the title. I get the money. It's all good. So anyway, that's what owner financing is.
So on the screen here, I put some of the deals that we had previously. Basically, they owed a balance. He sold the property for $79,900. He put $2,000 down. Their starting balance that they owed to him was $77,900. He had a 9% interest rate in there for 360 years, and they were paying $628 on this one property. Okay. Then of course he had other ones. Can y'all see my screen good?
Yeah, we can see it.
DeAndre, I see you working at 16 hours on here, boy. They gonna get you. I'm gonna call your captain. They gonna get you, boy. So he had all these properties. There's several of them that was left over towards the end of us closing our deals. These were the hardest ones for us to close because people were looking for higher dollar amounts. Because when we first met, he had some that was $1,200. Paying up to $1,200, $1,500. So these were some of the harder ones we had to get rid of. Yeah. But as you can see, though, what he's saying is he bought a property. Say he bought this property for $38,000, and then he seller financed it to an end user, somebody that could not get a traditional mortgage or had credit issues or something. They were just stuck in the rat race of renting. What he did was every dollar out that he put out, he put $2. He wanted $2 back at a higher interest rate. So whatever his monthly payment was to the bank, he was able to pay back the bank from their mortgage payments to him and still cash flow the rest. Right. Created passive income. Right. Just leveraging his money and his credit. So that's what I learned from him, and that's why I employed it to my life. Was able to build my own, different things that I've had accomplished But just anybody that's new on the call, don't know what seller financing is. I just wanted to make sure you have a clear understanding of what he's saying as we speak. I know some of the people do. I just wanted to make sure you understand. Anybody else got a question for Tim?
Well, I don't really have a question. I just kind of got a scenario. So
Okay.
I've obtained 4 vacant lots.
Okay.
And I'm really trying to resell them, which I'm having a hard time actually trying to market them for sale because of where they're located.
Okay.
And the owner, he has a container of personal belongings on the property, and it's just kind of hard to find. He doesn't want to pay storage for that particular container. So how would you, if you could, suggest that I move that? Like as far as selling?
You're talking about the lots?
Yeah.
Whose storage container is it?
It's the owner's container.
Oh, you don't own the lots?
No, I kind of dibble and dabble with wholesale. So I kind of got the lots under contract.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you get them under contract like that, then you're forced to either sell them outright or whatever to come up with enough money to satisfy your contract with that person.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't know unless you could talk that person into accepting payments on it. I mean, I don't know. To me, if I own the lots myself, the first thing I would do is contact all the adjoining landowners, and I would offer terms on the lots, like easy terms. Like, hey, I have this lot that connects to your lot. I'll let you get it for $250 a month or whatever, no money down. You make it easy for them to buy it, and they'll buy it because they want the lot. They just ain't got 15 grand to buy the lot or however much it is. I don't know. But
Okay.
That's what I would try to do. And then if that didn't work with the adjoining landowners, then I would start advertising it with a very low money down, $500 down, $200 a month, whatever. and try to turn them into producing something instead of just sitting there.
Yeah, I've had it for a couple of months, so it's just not moving.
And so because you're tied into a contract trying to wholesale it, you're going to be stuck in that. You're going to be stuck with that scenario. So maybe you, since you're the wholesale that and you got it at a better price, maybe you make an offer to him, he owner finances it to you. And then you try to find an end buyer for it. And then, just take payment, so on and so forth.
That's an option.
Yeah.
Somebody asked, what's the contract called that you use to sell the tract of land? Is it still assignments for deeds?
No, it's called an agreement for deed. An agreement for deed or a land contract. I'll send you a copy of it if you want, and then you can, you can share it or whatever. The one I use. The one I use is no, because
I think me and you use the same one. I think I have one over here. So yeah.
I'm a real estate broker here in Tennessee, and so when I do a deal, I use all of the National Association of Realtors forms, but I also use my own 2-page agreement that I had our attorney draw up for us. And so it's a simple 2-page agreement, easy for everybody to understand. I'm not trying to trick anybody. It's plain as day. It says it right there. You take it or leave it. And so, I tell them, this is my simple 2-page agreement. This is all the crap that I have to have you sign because I'm a realtor.
Whoever asked that question was an iPhone. It depends on your state too. I know Tennessee, where we're at, we're assignment for deeds. Right. They can be, if you're in California, they actually can be land contract. They can be just deeds of trust. Because some states are deed of trust states, but California, if you do a land contract, it will be on a deed of trust. So you basically have to know what state you're in to get your assignment that you got to use. But it's always basically an agreement for deed.
Right.
This is basically a sample agreement for deed.
It just says it has all the terms, the what happens in case they default on it, and the amount of the money on there. That's what makes a contract. But basically what it says is I'm not going to sign it over to you till you finish paying it off. When you finish paying it off, I warranty deed, being clear. It's all good to go.
So a good thing with that is doing that way on a land contract instead of actually going through a title company, doing like a full mortgage or a deed of trust on a property. If those people default, you can actually take back that property with just going to the courthouse and doing what is called an eviction notice, because it's on like basically a rent to own. I'm pretty sure, Tim, you've took back properties, had to resell them over again, right?
Absolutely, numerous times sometimes.
Yeah.
With the agreement for deed, if they don't live on the property, I just take the property back. I don't have to do anything other than notify them I took it back. Now, if they live on the property, then I got to go down to the courthouse, have them evicted. Usually takes about 2 months, 2, maybe 3 months, but I can have them off pretty easy. I've had to go in my 15 years, I've probably been to court maybe 5 or 6 times. Every time I've been to court, I've got a judgment against the person. I've never gotten any money from any of the judgments, but it's tax write-off, so I get that. So
somebody, I think the question is, are you doing a title search before you purchase the properties?
Me, myself?
Yeah.
Are you asking?
I'm not the seller finance part of it, but the properties you purchase. I think that's the question.
Any property I purchase, I go through an attorney and I get title insurance on every property I purchase. Now that's just a personal preference for me. I've had a deal go wrong on me one time early in my career where I bought a property, I didn't have title insurance, was kind of iffy on it, and I had to negotiate on the price to get rid of it. But from that point on, I've always bought title insurance. It's just a little bit more. It just gives me peace of mind to know that the attorney looked at the title, made sure that it's good, and the person I'm buying it from is the person who owns it, and there's no other claims to the title, like from a divorced wife or whatever who's got a claim. He just makes sure that the title is good and I can buy it, and we're good to go. And so I always pay the little bit extra for title insurance personally. Now, when I sell it, most of the time the people buy it from me. We don't go through an attorney, so they don't have title insurance. They can, if they want to, do a title search at their own expense, and they can even get title insurance on it after I sign it over to them or whatever. They can get title insurance on it through an attorney if they want, but I don't really worry about that because there are unscrupulous business people in the world. And if you're one of the consumers buying from me, it would be smart, no matter who you're buying it from, to make sure that the title is good. But I know personally that all of my titles are good, so I don't worry about it. I know I'm good. So
Speaking of, oh, sorry. No, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Speaking of title, so you have title insurance and you also have a blanket lender's policy. So your properties are always secured in case of fire, something burns down. Do you recommend insurance that the homeowners that's buying the properties from you get their own insurance, or how does that work out?
Okay, so of course, I don't try not to buy any houses anymore. But when I did buy houses, what I would do was I have an insurance company down here. When I buy the house, I go down and I get it insured for whatever it is. And let's just say my payment's $600 a year, then their payment was $300 a month. I just take $50, 600 divided by 12 is 50. I add $50 to their payment. If their taxes are $300, 300 divided by 12 is 25. I add $25 to their payment. So instead of 300, they pay 375 every month. They pay 375 at the end of the year. When I get my tax bill, I've already got their money. I make the payment. When I get the tax bill, I pay it. The insurance bill, I pay it. I don't have to chase people down for the $300 or whatever. I've already got the money. Now, one other thing that does is if the house burns down, I get the check. The insurance comes to me. It doesn't go to somebody else. It comes to me. I can decide how I want to do with it. I'll give you an example of a customer I had. He was a handyman guy. He worked for me. I bought a foreclosure from Wayne County Bank. It was a single wide trailer on 16 acres. I paid 20 grand for it. I sold it to him for 40. He gave me $1,000 down. He made payments on it for about 6 months. Tornado went by, messed up the trailer pretty bad. The insurance went out there. They totaled it. I had $45,000 coverage on it. He still owed me about $39,000 after his $1,000 paying. He'd been paying for 6 months. He still owed me almost the whole amount, $39,000. So I told him, I said, hey man, listen, we can do this 2 ways. So the check was for 45 grand. You can just keep making your payments and we can fix your trailer and you can just keep making your payments and we can keep going. Or you owe me 39,000. I'll just take my 39,000. I'll give you the extra 5,500 and sign you the deed to the property over. He was like, yeah, do that. So I gave him the deed to the property, 16 acres, and that whatever was left of the trailer, and I gave him $5,500 and we parted ways. He felt like he got an awesome deal because he'd only been paying on it 6 months. And now he's got a paid off piece of property. He took that $5,500 and rebuilt that trailer, and now he still lives there, rent free. So I got my money, he got his property, and everybody was happy. That's how I like to do. That's how I like to do deals. I could have been an asshole and said, no, I'm keeping all this. You ain't paying enough or whatever, and just tried to be a greedy person. But I'm not that type of way, man. I want everybody to win. I want him to win. I want to win. I want everybody to win. So anyway, that's what I did. So anything else? What else y'all got going?
Well, you gave us a whole handful tonight, Tim.
I'll keep going if y'all let me.
I did.
Cash?
Yeah, so don't buy with cash. I don't know if that's a question or that's a question. So don't buy with cash.
The deals I'm doing, I can't buy with cash. I mean, I don't have $300,000 in the bank to pay cash for that. And to me, why would I? I mean, if I can take 50 grand of my nephew's money, invest it, and he can have all his money back in 6 months, and I'm in the deal with no money and he's in the deal for no money, why should I pay cash for it? It pays for itself, and it's going to produce $4,700 a month positive cash flow for the next 30 years. I don't know. That's a win to me.
So
if I take that 300 grand and I put it in there, then that's money. Granted, I'm not paying the interest on that money, but that 300 grand can be spent over here doing other deals, making triple my money again, not just knocking down 5% interest.
So Willie Lock, from my point of view, my following up on Tim on that one, no, you never use your own cash. You always keep your money in the bank. The way you get rich is using OPM, even though he's using his nephew's money in this situation. What I do is when I buy a property, I'll go to the bank, right? And I'll go to them, like Tim said, and I'll get pre-approved for the mortgage that I want. My bank, unfortunately, requires 25% down, which is fine. So they require 25% down because it's an investment mortgage. That's fine. I'm still not using my own money. My money's still in the bank account. This is the point where you start leveraging your credit. I have over $260,000 in the personal credit. All I do is go to one of my credit cards. You can do it either by balance transfer, convenience checks. We got different methods that we teach you how to liquidate a card. Now I have my down payment.
Yeah.
So now I'm using two streams. I'm using the bank's pre-approval and I'm using the OPM from the bank. Now I'm using two different sources. I'm going to Velocity Bank, as we teach you how to pay back the borrowed money that I got from the credit card, right? So now I have a producing asset coming in. So say my mortgage to the bank is, I'm just going to round this off. So say I did a $43,000. I had to put 10.5 down on the investment. Took 10.5 off my line of credit. I still owe the bank 36,000, right? I owe the bank 36. I'll Velocity Bank the 10 that I borrowed, using my cash flow that I have coming into the house. That property is going to pay me $1,000 a month, and altogether I owe the banks and my credit card about $250. Now I just made a big spread. I make $750 spread without using any of my money. All I did was leverage my adult report card, meaning my credit report.
Yeah.
And you just can't continuously rinse and repeat. So that's all it is. But no, you never want to use your own cash. You always keep your cash in the bank.
How many of y'all ever been to Rent-A-Center? Any of y'all ever been to Rent-A-Center where you buy a refrigerator for 3 times what it's worth, but you do it on payment?
Yeah, we've done that.
A furniture, bedroom set, it's the same principle. That couch is $200. They're selling it to you for $600 on payments. It's the same thing. Buy here, pay here, car lots. They do the same thing. This is just doing it on a bigger scale with land. So it's the same thing. Hey, listen, on that forum that Sabor shared, my business card is on there. Any of y'all want to call me, talk later, tomorrow, the next day, shoot me a text, ask me a question, feel free, anytime.
Yeah, also group, if you scroll back up to the top of the chat, I put 3 links in there from Tim. Some are from his seller finance deal when he was doing properties. There are videos on seller finance and when he was doing properties. The other ones is the other 2 links of the current deals that he's getting ready to do now. Again, he's the man, he's the master. People always try to say that, oh, somebody was giving something or they had some hand up in life. Tim is one of those people I know that actually got it out the mud. He did just, as like me, he worked his butt off to get where he's at. And again, it's about being comfortable doing what you're doing, know where you want to go and having that passion to get there, So, yeah, I always applaud him. He's always welcome on this call. We look forward to him, y'all. He's part of our community. We look forward to him jumping on this call.
Yeah.
About it, man. I love talking about it. So, Sabor, you're doing big things too, player. I like it.
I appreciate you. We're trying to grow. We're trying to grow a community of people, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
Well, so if nobody else has any other questions for Mr. Crane, we're gonna just thank him for the information. Tim, like I said before, you're always welcome. We always look forward to having you on this call. You always give us a wealth of information. So just thank you for being here tonight.
Thank y'all for having me. I
Thank
appreciate
you,
it.
Tim. Thank you, man. I'll follow up with you soon, sir.
Anytime.
Yeah,
All
I'll probably be following up with you too.
Thank you, guys.
All right, so we got to finish this thing out here. Y'all ready? Like I think we got some couple of tiebreakers.
You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people that answered. So
all right, so I'm gonna see how many people, see how many we can get to. All right, ready, y'all? Got y'all remember y'all numbers?
I got it. Yeah.
Anybody new that? I'm sorry. Anybody new that has any questions before we move on about Tim Crane? Or I know we don't normally have guest speakers. We normally go more, but I just wanted to bring him back because his deal opening and was talking about and it was very exciting. So I just wanted to make sure he shared it with the group. But anybody that's confused about what he was talking about, I apologize. I get to ask that question. All right, let's go ahead to the next one. Y'all ready?
I still have all the numbers, Sabor, so we can roll.
All right. I collect information like rent payments, mortgage subscriptions, and utility bills. What secondary credit bureau am I? Was that Brian that put that 10 in there just now?
Yep.
Go ahead, Brian. He's trying to get that $100 tonight. He just got a baby, that's why. I just We're going throw his diapers. Go ahead, Brian, answer.
That one, is that core logic?
Good job. Core Logic and Novice. Core Logic and Novice.
Okay.
So he got he's 2, so he's the winner for that.
All right. Anybody else want to see the next one? We still got to break the second person then.
Right. So he's the winner for the $100.
All right. So I have a credit score of 702, an Equifax score of 729, and my experience is 710. What is my FICO score?
7, Rochelle.
710.
710.
All
Your
right.
FICO. Most people try to think the FICO score is dividing the 3. The FICO score is only the middle number of your 3 scores. That would make up your FICO score.
So they would win the $50 because they
y'all got the $50 one. So Brian, I know we don't have your PayPal information. If you have PayPal information, send it to Rosie. But Rochelle and Armando, we had that back over to y'all in a little bit, okay?
Cash flow, definitely.
Right.
Cash.
Are we doing that for the first prize as well?
For Brian.
PayPal for Brian as well?
If he has a PayPal account, yes. If not, then we can send him I'll send him a $100 money order. I mean, a gift card.
I got PayPal or Cash App.
Okay.
Oh, look at Brian. I got a PayPal or Cash App.
Send Rosie your PayPal information, and we'll get that over to you.
Please send it to Rosie at demerifunding.com. Rosie at demerifunding.com. ROSIE.
You already have Armando and Rochelle's.
I do. I'm talking to Brian. Yes.
I know. Okay. I'm sorry. I was just making sure.
Oh no, I'm just saying. Sorry.
You gave me that mama look like, yes, I got it. All right. So
I just wanted to acknowledge I did invite a guest on tonight, and he's on the line, Mr. George Hurdle. So I just want to thank him for coming on. I don't know if he would like to say something or not, but Mr. Hurdle, you want to say something? You don't have to.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
She
unmuted.
started you now. Yes, you do.
No. Well, no, he's still muted, so I don't. Did he? Yeah, he didn't come off.
All right. So, anybody have any questions for me about our program? I know we didn't really go over our normal topics tonight because we had a guest speaker. But again, this program is about teaching you how to leverage your credit, how to build your credit, both personal and business credit, and how to leverage that credit so that you can actually build a financial future for you and your family. You know, I heard one of the couples say they had a business for 10 years and funding their business, which I applaud for using no credit at all. But just think, if you have business credit, how far that you can actually take your company, things that you could exceed it, and excelled with. Again, it's all about using OPM, leveraging OPM, know the power of OPM, meaning, getting comfortable with leverage. And leverage just simply means I owe this a little amount, but I'm going to make this large amount. Paying that little amount off as fast as possible so that you can actually have monthly income coming into your household. That's our goal to teach. Again, congratulations to Rosie and Renee. They actually closed another deal today. They're going to be bringing in about $800 passive income monthly. So it's just extra off the other things that we're doing. We're going to rinse and repeat. you know, until we get Renee's getting close to retirement age, so she wants to get her ready. So, and then Armando and Rochelle's getting close to retirement age. So we're trying to build this community up so that we can actually bring these people to the, you know, we all know that if you have a 401k, once you retire, and I've seen it done plenty of times, people say, oh, I got $250,000 in my 401k, but they have outstanding debts. They get out, they pay all the stuff off, take a road trip across country, come back, they broke. No passive income. They didn't create any kind of income streams for themselves, and they think they're going to live off Social Security for the rest of their life. It's not going to happen for our community. That's not what we're doing. We're trying to have $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 coming in monthly residual income for you all. So that's the goal here.
George did say thanks for having him. He's just in the middle of doing something, so he couldn't just jump. He couldn't pop on. But
no, it's fine. That's all right. Thank you, George. Thank you for joining. But anyways, that's all I have for tonight. Anybody else has anything, or anybody want to say anything?
I was just gonna say, I wanted to thank the people who joined, Glenn, Michelle, Terry, Alicia, I see you. So I just wanted to say thank you for joining, and I hope that it is a program that you all are interested in joining as well.
So with that being said, I'm just going to piggyback off of it, Danielle, our new coach. If there's anyone interested in joining the Debt Weapon Program, please reach out to Rosie at DeMaryFunding.com. She will be able to give you the information and prices on what the cost would be. And you would then be assigned a coach to help you begin your journey of building your credit, personal and business, and also learning how to leverage your credit. So we've heard great testimonies at the beginning of this call on how the program works and how successful it is. We're going to use Michelle as our billboard girl, right? She started really with nothing and ended up with a $50,000 credit line in 3 months. So if you follow the steps, then it definitely works. So with that being said, Sabor, if you have anything, or Rosie, if you have anything,
I would like for y'all to all unmute yourself to help me tell my wife happy anniversary. Tomorrow's our 20th wedding anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Joy, and happy early birthday.
Yeah.
Her birthday's coming up too.
Yeah, man, it's
We're
horrible.
gonna have to do a Zoom just to sing happy birthday to her.
Yeah, it's a horrible month for us, man. We got anniversaries, birthdays, and my birthday next.
Happy anniversary to Sabor and Joy.
Happy anniversary.
Those things are not terrible. Those are good things.
Yeah, I'm about to say that too. That's not terrible.
No, I mean like I'm talking about like all the stuff that like there's a lot going on in one month
Sabor's
for us.
talking about he got to spend some money, y'all.
Yeah,
That's all. That's a lot to spend money all in 1 month.
No, actually I got out of it.
Not
Actually, I got out of it
consumer.
this year, yo. I swear to God, I got out of it. She's like, okay, you're buying me a house next month, and I got a new car. You better not bring nothing in this house. I was like, what? I love you. I'm like, what? I love you. I got out of it this year.
Happy birthday and happy anniversary to you guys.
So you guys know on Friday nights, we really like to try to keep the call to an hour, but tonight was special because we do want to respect your time. We all know everybody works, so we want to be mindful of that and be considerate of your time as much as we can every week. But we do appreciate you joining us, because if without you, there would be no us. So we thank you so much, and let's get this movement moving.
Right.
A movement is a movement. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
I'll see you all next week. We got some very good content next week. No guest speakers, so we're going to have a lot of good content next week. So those that's new on the call, please come back and join us. I'm pretty sure you're going to love the information that we have for you next week. All right. Love you all. Be safe out there, okay?
Love you guys. Take care. Bye.
Yeah.